welcome to another up close video. So this one is for the Time for Tea three-dimensional die set from Tonic, and I'm also putting the Cute Cupcakes die set in this as well because they are launching together on Create and Craft. I have just filmed a construction video for the Time for Tea one, so that will be up as a separate video as well because it's quite a long one. I think I filmed for like 40 minutes doing that. I'm not going to do a construction video on the cupcake ones because they are actually really simple to put together, and both die sets do have construction on the packaging to show you how to put them together as well, so you don't really need a construction video, but I thought I might as well do the teapot and the teacup whilst I had my ones already die cut and everything. Anyway, let me show you what they actually make before I show you the die sets. So the Time for Tea one makes this absolutely stunning teapot, which is a really decent sized teapot. You can actually fit your whole hand inside it, so you can tell like it's a nice decent size. And you've got the gorgeous lid to go with it, and I gave a lot of ideas in the construction video of what you could use it for, but one of my ideas I'm going to do for my nan, because she liked the sound of these teapots, I'm going to get a mini bottle of whiskey and then put that inside and fill the rest with chocolates and give it to her as a present. I think my mum will probably be after one as well. Again, just filling them full of chocolates I think is a really great gift idea, and then they can use it as like home decor afterwards, but you've used it as like a receptacle for a present as well. And also, in that die set, the Time for Tea one, you can also make the teacup with a saucer. You don't have to stick the teacup to the saucer, but because I'm sending these to Tonic and they go as a pair, I don't want them to get separated from each other. So that is the teacup, and it's a gorgeous little teacup. Again, I think this would be really great for giving a few chocolates or sweets or tea bags. Again, you can put tea bags in this one as well as a present because obviously it's teapot. Or like hot chocolate and marshmallows, you know, something like that, and then adding cellophane and sort of tying it above here so you've got a whole area to fill full of sweets and things, or even like knitted little toys and bits and pieces as well. I will show you all of these at the end as well, all of the samples that I've done. But I just wanted to show you what they make. And then the other one, which is called the Cute Cupcakes, they create these, which are really... It was really fun to make actually. I wasn't sure I was going to like them that much, but they're really cool. And I love this little strawberry that you can create as well. You can create a little 3D strawberry, which I have just tied onto mine. It was actually supposed to be around that side, I think. And I've just done a little enjoy gift tag, which is also in there, and added the little strawberry. You also get this gorgeous, you get this gorgeous butterfly die, which is going to be great for your card making as well. I had some ideas to do a couple of cards with this die set. I haven't had a chance to do it, so I don't know whether I will get round to doing them, but I think it'd be really great for your card making as well. And you can see there how the lid comes off. Again, you could fill this full of chocolates, sweets, or maybe even a bath bomb or something would go really nicely in this, or you can use them for real cupcakes as well. Obviously you just make sure the icing's not going to hit the interior pieces, but you could actually have real cupcakes in here too, or maybe a stack of like 3 homemade biscuits, like round biscuits in there would work really nicely as well. I think they're so cool though. It's really cool, and you could actually, if this was going to be a home decor piece rather than like a gift box kind of thing, you could stick this top piece on as well so it doesn't come off. You just need to sort of line the scallops up and stick that down, and then that would stay on really nicely. And then the other one, there's 2 light variations you can do in this die set. I did this and added the little number 4. You get all the numbers, so you can do any age on top of a cupcake, and then because I did 4 candles. And then I also, it felt a little bit empty, so I wanted to add something else, so I just took some scraps of the same colour card I'd been using and twisted them around the end of a paintbrush. This was a narrower paintbrush, this one was a wider paintbrush, and then I just stuck them onto the icing of the cake. I think that looks really nice as well, not even being on a cupcake base, just being like a little domed piece. You could do them as like place names. You'd have that as an actual place name at the table. That would be really nice. Or have the cupcake as the place name and then have some sweets inside it as well, or a little gift that you've made maybe. But I think they're really sweet, and again you could fit a real cupcake inside this one too if you wanted to as well. So that is the other one that you can make with the cupcake set. So now I will move these out of the way and show you the actual die sets as well, and then I will come back to all my samples at the end and go through them again and show you some other variations that I have done as well. God, I've got so much stuff on my desk, it's hard to find a place to put them all. There's now a teapot balancing in a teacup. So these are enormous die sets, as you can see, because they don't really fit in my frame. But they're really, really large die sets. I think they're bigger than A4. I mean, that looks bigger than A4 to me. That's really large. And obviously there's two die sets. One creates the teapot and the teacup. You get everything in that one. And the other one creates these gorgeous little cupcake gift box kind of home decor sort of things. But you can put real cupcakes in them as well, which is really nice. Especially if you've got like maybe someone where you work is like turning 60 or something, and you know they don't like eating too much cake, but you want to give them something. You could just buy a really nice cupcake or make a single cupcake and put it in one of these and give it to them. It's a really nice kind of a gift. Anyway, so the Time for Tea die set is the teapot one. And you can see the gorgeous samples on the packaging. I think Ali has done these. I'm not 100% sure though, but they're really, really gorgeous. I love the blue and grey and white colour scheme on this, and I love the polka dot as well. The other one I did, I mixed the stripe and the polka dot together, so you can get another different look than it just being spotty. You can have spotty and stripy. So this is the enormous die set, and I actually have the real packaged ones this time, and I feel like they've changed the tape. Some of the other ones I've tried to get the dies off and I've ended up like ripping this whole backing card, but these ones were actually much easier to get off, so they might have actually changed the sticky tape that they were using to attach them. And what I love about their real packaging is you also get the outline of where the die was, so that you know which ones are missing when you go to put them back. But obviously you can store them on magnetic sheets as well. I've said that multiple times in other up-close videos. And this one, if you flip this over, you have all of the construction on the back of it, and it tells you how many of each one that you need. I haven't actually read what it says. I was just looking at the pictures because that's what I always do. But yeah, they tell you like you need 2 of this, you need 1 of each of them, 2 of that, 4 of that, 1 of each of them, 2 of that, and 1 of that to make the whole teapot. And again for the cup and saucer as well. And it even tells you like down here exactly which bits to overlap on the bottom of the saucer, so that you get the right like slope up the side. And it even shows you where to put your glue as well on them. So I have done a construction video showing you how to construct all of this, but it is all inside the packaging as well, so you don't have to worry that you're going to forget how to put it together. It's all in there for you. Then you can see the gorgeous dies. So you've got all of the main pieces to create the teapot. There's this large portion here. This piece creates the top curve, and you need 4 of them. You've got both sides of the spout, which is really nice. This portion does the lid, and you need 2 of them for that. And this one does the handle on the lid, and this is the handle on the side of the teapot. And then to make the teacup, you need 2 of these, which you also have a piece that can deboss into the piece as well, that says just for you if you want to do that. And then you need this piece for the side of the teacup, where you need 4 of those, and the handle of the teacup, and you get both sides of that as well. I haven't actually used the words in this either, but you get the time for tea little words in there as well, which are really nice. They're on one of the teapots on the front of it, which would be nice for a card as well. You haven't actually got like a teapot motif to use on a card, but you could use some of the other elements on the card. Maybe give someone a card that says time for tea, and then you give them a teapot that's full of tea bags, and then it's like, you meet up together and you share the tea, or try different flavours of tea or something. And oh yeah, for the teacup as well, you also need these 2 pieces in here. The one with the slots in it does the bottom of the saucer, and the octagon does the bottom of the teacup as well. You've got this little tiny piece that decorates the top of the teapot's lid. Or you could use this little rose. I really like the rose. I actually used it around the side of one of my teapots, the green one. You also get, extra die-wise, you get this gorgeous little butterfly, which is really nice. I actually used it on one of the cupcakes, to decorate one of the cupcakes, even though it's not in that die set. And then you get a little heart as well, which you could never have too many little heart dies because they're always different. And then you get 2 little flowers as well, and so you can actually have 3 different sizes of flowers because one falls out of this octagon too. So if you like your clusters of flowers, oh actually, wouldn't this look amazing if you made some of Susan's garden club flowers and maybe did it as a whole 3D piece and had the lid spilling off a little bit and some of her flowers growing out of it, and then you could have some of these smaller flowers cascading down the side of the teapot. Oh, that would look amazing. Oh, that would look really, really good. Or the same with a teacup full of flowers as well. That would look gorgeous. Anyway, sorry, I always go off on tangents. What was I saying? And then the rest of the dies that are in here are all of the different panels that you can decorate with. So you have polka dots, and you have the polka dot for the bottom panel, the middle panel, the top panel, the lid. You don't get the polka dots for the teacup, but you do get a solid panel for the teacup, and then you could even save all the little polka dots that come out of the other panels and put them onto this to recreate that polka dot effect, so they would all match. You then also get a stripe pattern, so you get it for the top piece, the 2, like the straight side, the sloped side, and the lid, and you don't get the cutout one, but you get a deboss piece for the teacup, so you can deboss the stripes into the teacup. And then the final design you get is the floral one, which you have the design for the spout, the lid, the side like straight panel piece, and also the teacup as well. And then you can mix the rose design either with just using that little rose motif to finish off the rest of the teapot, or you could just leave it plain, or you could use any of the plain panels to mix in with the rose design as well. So there's loads of different mix and match possibilities within the die set. So that is the Time for Tea one. And then the Cute Cupcake die set is this one. This one doesn't have construction sort of instructions, but on the back of the packaging for this one it shows you how you put it all together, and you actually need 15 of these little pieces. I'll show you that on the die set to create this top portion, because there are like 15 in-betweens of scallops, and that's how you sort of line it up on the base of the cupcake. You could as well, if you wanted to, you don't have to make this top piece at all. You could just make the like extra cupcake wrappers like this one, and to just put a real cupcake in, especially if you have big swirls of icing like I usually do on my cupcakes. You could just make them like this, and then you don't have to worry about the icing hitting the top of the container as well. Yeah, so you get all of the basics of what you need on the back of here as well, but they are really, really simple to put together. So this is the main die set. So the main portion is this piece, which is like the cupcake sleeve, and it's in 2 parts. So you have this one that's just plain. So whichever one you're making, you need this piece, which you could cut it out of patterned paper if you were just doing like a wrap to go around just a cupcake, or you can cut it out of a thin cardstock to be the backing colour of this, and then the inside one completely cuts out. You don't need the cutting edge on the edge of it, and it gives you the slots in the design, which you could paper piece actually. You could paper piece those back in, because I have loads of them on my desk that have obviously fallen out when I've been cutting them, but you could also keep them for your card making. You could do some kind of cool stripy background, or maybe crisscross them over and do some kind of cool background on a card as well. So that's the main portion. And to make the bottom of this, so you can actually have a solid bottom to it rather than just placing it around a cupcake, is this interior one here that kind of looks like you know, like the top of a castle with the little castle-y bits on it. And that is the bit, isn't it? Yeah, that is the right bit. And it has all of the little score lines on it, so you can fold the tabs upwards and then stick them to the inside of the bottom of this piece when it's together. Then, to create the top portion, you have two different designs. To create the piece that all the bits stick to, you need this outside scalloped circle with this interior circle cut from it. So you want to line them up together and then cut that so you get like a donut with the scalloped edge around it. And then you can choose from this one, which has like a round design on the top, or you can use this one, which is a bit plainer and is probably better for adding like a butterfly, the big butterfly onto it as well. And then to create the whole top piece to be nice and full, you need 15 of these. And fortunately, Tonic have put them 2 on the plate, so those 2 are identical and those 2 are identical. So you basically need to cut this 8 times and then you'll have one spare one. And you stick them all back to back. You fold them all in half, stick them all back to back, and then when you stick them onto this donut portion, which so it kind of looks like that, and these scallops just bend upwards, and then that's what makes it fit really nicely into the cupcake bottom piece. And you can see here, so you stick them back to back and then you get these little feet. Oh, that one's moved. Why that one keeps moving? It moved earlier as well. I have to try and re-stick that one. I'll have to fix that later. But they sort of stick onto that bottom portion, and the way I've been doing it is, you can see here, I've been lining it up so this straight piece is coming in between 2 of the scallops, and to do that you need 15 individuals of these. So you need to cut these pieces 8 times and you'll get 16 pieces, and then you don't need one of them, but that gives you the perfect splayed out kind of look to the top, and it fills it in really nicely as well. And for this one with the candles, I just sort of poked them into different places, and I made it double-sided as well, so that is actually the front because the butterfly's on it, but the back looks just as nice as the front, which is great. So the other dies that you get are all sort of more decoration for the little cupcake. You get another heart, which is really nice. You really can never have too many heart dies. This die and this die make your little 3D strawberry that I showed you at the beginning, and I'll show you it again. You get this gorgeous butterfly that would be really lovely on a greetings card, maybe like 3 of them all together on a random background, or maybe in your art journaling, all sorts of different things you can use that butterfly for. Then you get the candle. Again, I had a really good idea for a card with this. I haven't had a chance to do it though. But you get this candle, and you also get this piece which creates the 3D flame on the candle. And again, you get 2 of them. You can make this as full as you want as well. Same with the strawberry. You could just cut 4 of them and give it that little bit of a 3D-ness. Or for my one, I actually cut 8 of them to give it a really kind of 3D look. But for the flames, I only cut 4 of them. But again, you could cut 8 of them if you wanted to, or you could just cut 2 of them and have them back to back if you want to as well. You also get this lollipop that goes on the top of the cake, and you get an extra circle matte layer to go inside it. And you also get this one that says, have a great day. Have a great day. And it debosses it into the card for you and cuts it into that little coin kind of a shape. And then you also get all the numbers, so you get 0 to 9, and obviously the 6 is the 9, so you can do any age on there at all. It would just about squeeze on 3 numerals if someone had gotten to 100, but you can see on this one, 1 number fits really nicely, or 2 numbers would fit nicely next to each other as well, so you can really personalise these little boxes too, which is great. And if you get the teapot too, you could even use these to decorate the teapot. Like you could put someone's year of their birth on the side of the teapot as well. And then you get this one, which is a tag that says enjoy in it, which I've used on one of them. And then you also get 3 flower dies. I didn't actually use the flowers, but you get this sort of more pointy one. and then you get 2 of these that are the same design in different sizes that are like this 4-petaled one, which if you're into making a really realistic looking flowers, because of the shape of that, I reckon you could get some really good looking flowers out of that. Or if you just like simple flowers, you could just cut 2 of them and layer them offset together, and maybe cut 2 more of the smaller flower and put them inside to give a sort of a layered flower look as well. So they are the die sets. So the Time for Tea and the Cute Cupcakes. And then these are the projects that I have created with them. So I did already show you this one. And so for this one, I was using coral and red, and then I brought a bit of green in because for the top of the strawberry, I needed the green. So I also brought the green into the tag to tie it in as well. And, oh yeah, to get 8 of these, or like cut that double die for this top piece 8 times, you can get all of them out of one piece of cardstock, but you then will need another piece to cut this ring out. But you can get all of this top portion out of one piece of cardstock. And for this one, I layered this red on red for the base, and I cut 2 of those large butterflies out of that same coral colour and placed them on opposite sides of the cupcake case just to decorate it a bit more. And then to finish it off, I obviously added these on with a little bit of baker's twine, and then I added a bow on the top of there. So that is that one. And then for the number 4 one, I used purple tones of cardstock, and I also lined the inside of this one. So I just used a patterned paper and lined the inside as well. And I did white on the outside, so I kept the base of this one really simple. And then this obviously just slots in really nicely on the top of it. And I used cream cardstock, so it looks a bit like buttercream. And did I explain earlier? Or was it the other video? I can't remember. But I wrapped these little scraps of cardstock around paintbrushes to get these little twirls, because I thought it looked a little bit empty. And I added 4 candles onto this. And to get the candles, I cut 1 candle. I cut 8 candles. I cut 8 of the actual candles. I stuck 4 of them onto a piece of this coloured purple card, and then I trimmed around them and stuck the other 4 candles to the back of them so that they have the stripe on both sides. And then I used 4 flames on each candle. So I stuck 2 together, stuck them on the front, stuck 2 together and stuck them on the back, so that you've got the 3D-ness all the way around. And then for the main portion, I did 2 of the lollipop shapes, 2 of the white ones and 2 of the numbers, and so it's exactly the same on both sides. And then that is that small butterfly from the teapot set, and I just put 2 of them together and added that onto there as well. And I used a little bit of twine on that too with a little bow, so you really know which one is actually the front. Even though it looks nice on both sides, there is actually a front to it. Then with the teapots, so I showed you the green one already. So this is the green teapot and teacup, where I used 2 tones of green cardstock along with a green mirror card. And then I also used the Regency green vintage drops and added them to all of the parts of the teapot and the teacup, obviously whilst it was still flat, and then let them dry overnight so that they were nice and solid before I put the teapot together. And that's that one. Then I also have my other teapot that I made, which is purple tones, and I got my mum, or she kind of offered, to knit a little dormouse to go inside it, so it's like Alice in Wonderland with the little dormouse hiding inside the teapot. So he looks really sweet. And then he just sort of, he's got pipe cleaners in his hands, and then he can, obviously when he gets his tail inside, he can just hold on to the edge of the teapot. And then I thought it looks really sweet if you just rest the lid on top of his head, so he looks like he's actually just like woken up and is poking his head out the top of the teapot. So, and for the panels on this one, I cut them out of a different purple from the base, and then I stuck them all onto double-sided adhesive, and then used gold Nouveau Pure Sheen glitter to fill in all of the adhesive areas, so you've got the gold pattern all over the teapot. And then he's just sitting inside, so he looks really sweet. And then I don't know if this is quite dry yet, I don't want to move it too much, but I've made the matching teacup to be a little pin cushion. So you've got like a little circle of fabric with stuffing inside it, and then I've also stuck on a little cotton reel with some gold thread, a button and a little piece of ribbon measuring tape as well. So that's not quite dry yet, so I don't want to tip that too much, and hopefully that will stick on there. And then the final one I did, I was just experimenting. This was the first thing I made actually with the teapot. I decided to extend it. I explained it in the construction video how I actually did it, but I wanted to see if I could extend it and not make it a teapot and it's more like an urn, and I just made it all out of white cardstock, and then I used 3 different types of Nouveau mousse, or 3 different colours of Nouveau mousse, and the crackle mousse as well. So I did the crackle mousse behind those little flower apertures to give it some sort of rustic, cracked kind of a look, so it looks really aged. And then I used soft truffle, which came out in the Woodland Walk colour trend, as my base colour to paint the whole thing. And I just took a little pot, scooped out some of the mousse, watered it down, mixed it into like a paint consistency and painted the whole thing once it was already put together. Then when that was dry, I came in with a stencil brush, like a small little stencil brush or stipple brush, and used fresh copper to add the coppery sort of tones to this. And then to give it more of an aged kind of look, I came back in with sea spray green with the same like stipple brush to sort of get the colour into the cracks of the crackle mousse and sort of all around the different areas as well. So that's how I got that kind of old sort of look to it as well. So I hope you enjoyed this up close video looking at the Time for Tea die set and the Cute Cupcake die set, and don't forget to watch the construction video, which should be up around the same time as I put this one up, to show you exactly how to make the teapot and the teacup if you're unsure. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye!